broke down and he was like, what did I do to deserve this? And that is the day I told God, I know I've been asking you for so much, but God, do it for my dad. Like, I could feel his pain. You know, guys, it's not easy to see a man break down, And that day, when my dad broke down, everybody in the house broke down. My mom, me.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep my...
Deep in the dark, down on my knees, I've seen things that you wouldn't believe. I was lost until
Sometimes, when things happen in life, we don't have an explanation as to why things happen or as to why they happen to us. I'm recording this audio at exactly 11:39 p.m. because I'm unable to sleep, and today is on Thursday, September 29. Reason why I'm documenting this video is because I just want to express my feelings at the moment. It's exactly 1 month, 2 weeks away to my first year. Let me call it anniversary when I bought my Nissan Note 2014 model. Most of you have actually followed me through everything from how I started my YouTube channel from my bedsitter days to how I've been moving from house to house to how things have just not been happening to my breakup. I've been sharing everything with you guys. And the reason why actually I'm recording this at night is because I can't sleep. I'm just looking at how far I've come and I'm feeling like I just want to cry and cry because when things happen and you look at them and you're like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. I prayed for this and it just happened. When you're praying for things, guys, you think that, oh my goodness, it's not going to happen. Or maybe you feel like I'm just praying for the sake of praying. I remember in my bedsitter days, starting early 2018, I had just moved into this awesome tiny bedsitter. This bedsitter saw my worst days, it saw my best days, it saw every day of my life. And somebody said walls have ears. I do not believe in that saying. To me, if walls had ears, I'm sorry guys, I'm actually if walls had ears, then I think from that bedsitter, I think most of the things that I used to talk to myself feeling like I was out of my mind, then I think people or someone might have heard, but no, it's only the roof that has ears. Because when you're talking to your roof at 3 a.m. at night, it's only God that knows and hears what you're saying. Looking back at that house, guys, there are days that I didn't have food. There are days that I slept hungry, guys, I'm telling you. There are days and there are months that I just survived on rice, waru, and strong tea. You might ask why. There's a time in my life, guys, when things were bad. Not just bad for me, bad for my whole family. I was still in school. My dad was also still struggling. and things were not just happening, and if he was struggling, I was in school. He's like trying to make sure that he pays my rent. He's trying to make sure that my school fees is paid, so that I have an exam card, so that I'm able to do my exams. Because remember, because I think sometimes people usually ask me, like, why is it like you are 28 years old and you finished school in 2019? And guys, when people ask you that, you just like, okay, these people don't know my story. I don't want to be telling people my story and things like that. But sometimes people need to understand that things happen in life that you have no control over. For me, guys, before I even started my diploma program, for those who do not know, I did diploma first before I went to do my degree. And before I started my diploma, I had to defer. And then before I started my degree, I had to defer. As you defer, semesters change, years move, and things like that. That's why. And let's go back to my bed sitter. So in this house, guys, I have told you there are days that I didn't have food. And you look at it, you're like, okay, my parents are struggling. How do you even manage to go ahead and call them and tell them that you don't have food when they are really, really trying to have a roof over your head? They're trying to give you the best they can. And I ate rice waru. Is that what you guys refer to as rice njeri or something? Like I survived months because I had a lot of rice, and waru was like 20 bob. And when you live alone, you cook one waru, two warus. And I think that is why by far rice waru is one of my favorite dishes. And when I'm having it, it reminds me of my dark days. It reminds me of how, if not for that rice waru, I might have died of hunger. And just looking back, I remember in that bed sitter, guys, I had a book. And I remember I still have that page in my file because, guys, I am this weird person whereby I keep all my receipts. Even at the moment, I could show you a receipt of my first iron box that I bought. I still have it. My first water dispenser, I have it. My first, I don't know, like even my first mattress, I still have my receipt. It might have been faded, or you can't see the figures or anything, but you can see it was Uchumi Supermarket Rongai. Like I keep my receipts because, like, when you're just attached to things, that is just me. Like I keep so much that I know I won't need, but I just want to keep it. So I remember in that nini, I have that paper. I don't know if it's faded in my file. I just wrote, the things that you just admire to have. Because those days, guys, I didn't have a bed. I was just sleeping down. I had these plastic carpets, the one that are black and white. You know them, guys, the one you buy for 150 per meter. That is what I had, I'm telling you. So I had that plastic nini. I had my nini. I didn't even have a duvet. And I have my first blanket that I bought at Kware Market at 300 bob. I still have that blanket. I just feel like I can't do away with it because that's how I started life, if you understand what I'm saying, guys. So just to tell you, like, I sat there on my mattress and I was just telling God, as I wrote, God, in a few years' time, I want to have these few things. Because at that time, when you have friends and then they're looking at you, they're like, okay, you don't have anything, you just have your mattress. And is it called a subwoofer or something, the radio thing, and that plastic carpet, and a rice cooker, guys. I didn't even have gas. I was cooking ugali. I washed the sufuria or the pot, and then I cook my mboga. I wash the pot. I cook my eggs. Like, you using that one, nilikuwa natumia steam actually. And then I only had like 3 plates or something, and I was writing, dear God, one day I will own a microwave. One day I'm gonna have a fridge. One day I'm gonna have a cooker. One day I'm gonna have a bed, and just one day I might be able to move into 1 bedroom. The things that you wish for, and you're just like, God, I just like need something like this. Because, guys, as much as you're growing career wise, you're growing health wise, mentally, physically, there are those things that you just want to have. So on my list. I remember I had those things, like I was telling God, I just want this, because I remember I used to go to Facebook and just like save things. I don't know, with the cooking pots I would wish to have, maybe the design of plates and cups I would wish to have, maybe I don't know, like guys, I had a list of things that I wanted. And I'm telling you, like 2 years later, was it 2.5 years later, I had more than that. What do I mean by that? Like, guys, in the start of 2021, I like, when people have a plan, a long life plan of buying a car, a long life plan of buying a house, a long life plan of, I don't know, buying what, piece of land, things like those. At the start of 2021, guys, even until I bought my car, it was never in my thoughts that I was gonna own a car. Never, guys. I never even thought about it, because I just knew, like, a person having a car, you have to have a lot of money. You have to have saved, I don't know for how many years. You need to have a job that pays you, I don't know what. Like, the kind of things that we put in our mind, the kind of things that we just start thinking, and we forget that God up there has different plans. Like, guys, I'm looking back and I'm just like, at no point until October, at no point, actually until late July 2021, after just my birthday, when I just gotten back to Nairobi, until July when I up enrolled into the driving school, I didn't think that, oh, I'm gonna. And even when I was enrolling in that school, Rocky, I didn't think that I'm going to school to drive, and then I will have a car in the next like 2 months. No, no, I'll be lying if I say I did. No. So just thinking that God has done it beyond what I asked for, I'm just like, oh shit, like, enyewe, like, God gives us, or God does things, or let me just say God listens, guys, because the kind of things that I've been asking God, like, to just give me, the kind of things, when you're just praying and then you're telling God, God, you already know my heart. This is what I yearn to have. This is what I will wish to have, God. Like, just give it to me, because you already see me. You already see what, like, you're telling God, God, I deserve this. Guys, it's not easy. Like, sometimes I just, when you're just seated and you're looking at something and you're like, oh my goodness, like, indeed God exists. Like, what God has done for me in my life, God, like, how do I even explain? Because guys, I don't actually know how to explain, because sometimes it's really hard to explain, because things just happen. You're praying for something in 2019, and in 2020 it's there at your doorstep. Tell me if God doesn't listen. And sometimes you pray for something in 2007, 2008, it happens in 2020, and you're like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, guys, I just want, like, to encourage you that if you truly believe in God, just know that things are coming your way. For me, guys, now, today is September 29th. Actually, I was just thinking, like, there was a day that I didn't have food on my table. There was a day that I was worried I was gonna be thrown out of my bed sitter because I didn't have rent. And then here I am, guys. I don't, like, have everything that I have prayed for, but things are right at my doorstep, guys. If it is not God, can you tell me who it is? Because indeed, God listens. He answers our prayers. It might take some time, it might take years, but eventually it's coming your way. And what actually is making me cry or feel emotional is that Those days that I was eating my rice waru continuously, week after week, days after days, I was feeling like nimefika mwisho. I felt like there's no tomorrow. I felt like maybe this is just it for me. And I remember there's a day I cried to God and I was like, okay, fine. If I have to be thrown out of my house, I was just praying that, okay, fine, wacha minikose, let my things be stuck. But God opened his ways, my dad's ways, because he needed finances. He's taking care of how many kids, like, not even his kids, but he's going that, like, he's just doing it for them. I was just feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm just looking at how many people were looking or were looking up to my dad to just like do something for them. And if not me, then let it just be my dad. And guys, apart from just like me getting what I prayed for, getting what I asked God for, he also did it for my dad, guys. He did it for my dad because at that moment I remember my dad was actually in a 1 bedroom mud house at that time. And my dad used, like, he had already started to do the foundation for our now house, and then things just got stuck and he couldn't move forward. School fees ndio hizo, rent yangu ndio hiyo, sijui my cousin school fees, sijui nani nini. And I remember this a day my dad broke down and he was like, what did I do to deserve this? And that is the day I told God, I know I've been asking you for so much, but God, do it for my dad. Like, I could feel his pain. You know, guys, it's not easy to see a man break down. And that day, when my dad broke down, everybody in the house broke down. My mom, me, my cousins, everybody, because everybody was looking up to my dad. And to just see like my dad break down because like he couldn't give us his best. It was so heartbreaking. And guys, I'm telling you, at the moment today, my dad finished building his 4 bedroom house. He is actually living in his house. God did it for him. He has not like finished like doing the finishing, the final touches, I don't know, ceiling and what. But he is in his house. The house has windows. The house has doors. The house has power. He's actually like getting water from he has a pump in a borehole. What do you call that? So, and he also managed to get a car for himself, and he has a piece of land in Nakuru that he has not yet developed, but at least God did something for him. And looking at my dad, looking at myself, looking at my family, I'm just like, God did it for us. Because guys, I'm telling you, there was a time even my mom was like, oh, this life has no balance indeed. I remember there is a time when like we didn't even have food. Now leave alone me being in Nairobi, now that is in my Gishagi. We didn't like have food because your time mlikuwa mmepanda mahindi mka harvest mmekula, hiyo period ingine ya kuharvest ijafika, you don't have food. I remember there's a day like tulikuwa tunachoma mahindi, I think like 3 days tukachoma mahindi tukikula. We don't have even sugar, so it's mahindi choma and water. And with these guys, when somebody doesn't know your story and then you're doing things in a certain way and somebody is coming to you and they're like questioning what you're doing, they're like when you're trying to make something for yourself, guys, and then somebody else is just like not having it and they're just like saying things, comments that are not worth it. You ask yourself like, God, why? Because now you can't ask this person. You go back to God and you're like, God, this person doesn't even understand my pain. This person doesn't know even what I have been like through, And you're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna comment. Let God be my whatever. Because you can't go ahead like back and forth with people who don't understand your journey. And guys, I just wanted to share with you this because sometimes you might just see me make a certain how do you call it, make certain decisions, decide to do things, and you might never understand. So guys, at the moment I appreciate God that at least now I have a roof over my head. Now I have things that I prayed for. My family is okay, and I am okay health wise. And I just, all I can say is just like glory to God, because where, guys, it's been tough. I'm telling you, in 2017, 2018, there, like, during that time and now, I could have never told you that God does anything, or you pray, God answers, things like those. But let me just say, I am glad that God has done it for me. And I just wanted to share this with you guys so that you know and trust. And if you're praying over something, it might take time, but it will come to you guys. Mimi Sai, I like this same thing that makes me emotional is the same thing that when I tell somebody that Mimi, there are those days that I didn't have food. Sometimes people won't even believe you. They're just like, unakosa food aje nini na nini. But guys, it's only the shoe wearer that knows where it pinches. So believe in God, pray, guys, pray, ask God for the things you want. Believe, guys, it takes time, patience also, but God will be always there and always hears you. And talk to your ceiling, guys, talk to your ceilings. Because for me, I have been talking to my ceiling for the longest time possible, and God does it. He actually listens, guys. So, guys, I just wanted to share that and allow me now to go to sleep because I think kama singeshare hiyo singelala. At the moment it's around 12 a.m. the next day now. This is now 30th of September. And guys, have a good night or whatever time you'll be watching. From me, City's Peace, and I'm out. Bye, guys.